Welcome to the Passive Installer video series. In this video, we will be covering how to install the Passiv Programmer in a two-zone system with wired thermostats. To install the Passiv Programmer, you will require 3-core mains flex cable for powering the device and RS485 cable for device connections. We recommend using ferrules to ensure secure connections and having a Wago screwdriver to hand for push-fit wiring. When installing the Passiv Programmer, make sure the device is situated somewhere accessible to the householder. Also, consider the requirement for an RS485 cable to run from the programmer to the Passiv hub and the heat pump, as well as the cable run from the programmer to each thermostat. Firstly, loosen the 2 screws on the right-hand side of the programmer before removing the wiring center cover. Do not remove the screws completely. You can mount the programmer to the wall directly or a 2-gang pattress box. Always use the slotted screw holes for a secure fix. Once the programmer is mounted, you can start fitting the wiring connections. On the inside of the programmer cover, you can find a full guide to each connection in the wiring center. To power the programmer, you require a fused protected spur supplying 230 volts AC. It is important that the total current of the connected valves and pumps does not exceed 3 amps. For all connections, push-fit cable clamping is provided in 2 sizes: 2 small clamps at the top and bottom, and 3 larger clamps in the middle. The smaller clamps can support 3-core mains flex cable or RS485 twisted pair cable, while the larger clamps support 5-core cables used for valve connections. Wire each device according to the guide. The wiring center in the programmer uses push-fit Wago connectors. Every installation will require you to connect power to the top 3 connectors. For the RS485 connections, ensure that the cable cores are connected to either A or B, consistent with the connections used for the hub. One leg should always be connected to ensure stability. The other leg connects the termination resistor, and should only be connected if the programmer is the last device in the Modbus chain. For a 2-zone system with wired thermostats, you will also need to connect the secondary circulation pump, the valves for each heating zone, and the speaker cable for the thermostats. These can either be connected in parallel or in series. Refit the wiring center cover and you have now installed the Passiv Programmer. You can now move on to fitting the thermostats or connecting the Modbus wiring to the heat pump. For heat pump specific guidance, visit our Installer Help Center at installer.passivuk.com. Passiv, the smart way to control your heat pump.